Hey guys, what's up? This is Leroy the Lance Corporal here, and I bring you Operation Baywatch. This is something very ambitious, and I'm very proud of it. So, quick overview. NATO's gonna spawn over here, move to Rally Point Lima, and we've got a bunch of SDVs prepped for them. We have some drop-ins sometimes, so I just have, a few different groups, but they're all going to be associated different fire teams. It's going to be great, and they are going to take them up to this. I am quite proud of this one. This is a large offshore platform with 3 smaller platforms that hopefully they'll utilize for Overwatch. Main things to look out for: Battle Tower Alpha, which is in the center of the main platform. And then, let me check my map so I get them right. For here we have Battle Tower Bravo, so Alpha's 1, Bravo's 2. Insertion point is these ladders, which I've tested. They work properly at the very least. Charlie, number 3. Insertion points here. And Delta. So there'll be plenty of Syndicate and maybe even a few CSAT forces. I haven't placed them down yet because this is going to be released a little before I do the operation, just to kind of show off what everything's going to be, play out like. Because the original platform was only half this size, I'm going to be completely honest. And, I had a very long and dull 6-hour work shift that wasn't that eventful. And I literally spent about half of that making this entire area. So very cool stuff. Let's talk a little bit more for the people who are watching that are going to be doing this mission. You've got 2 large insertion areas for the main platform. You have this side, 6 different ladder platforms, so 12 ladders in total to get up to the main platform. And you have the other side, another, 6 platforms, 12 ladders. And I would highly recommend that you take the towers outside originally, because remember your secondary objective is there's going to be AA up on these towers, allegedly. And if you want to be able to do reinsertions by air, these AA needs to go. So expect, I would say, moderate resistance coming into this main platform. Very light resistance on the individual platforms. Also, these are Syndicate forces, so I wouldn't expect anything underwater down here. But you never know. I might throw in some surprises. And I'm also thinking, we're going to do this at night. Just look at the lighting. I mean, the lighthouse going around, it occasionally, does some shine on the taller parts of the platform, the cranes, the silo here, the small radio tower in the office building. That's just so many cool effects that I want to fully utilize for this mission, as well as multiple lights. I know a few of you guys really like shooting these things out, and you'll have that option, but this will be some good lighting, so if you're scouting from the outside platforms, you can get eyes on and see what's going on. So within this platform, there will be 3 satchel charges you're going to have to defuse. So bring your EOD specialists. And there will also be groups of hostages, the guys that are working on this platform, because this is a Tanoan government platform, that you will have to rescue. So be careful. Just keep in mind this is an offshore platform. It's going to be a little buggy. I will go over in briefing how to deal with a few of these bugs that I have found in play testing this thing for 2 hours. And other than that, I think that's good. So if you want to stick around, I'm just going to discuss, how to make something like this, and what to look out for, how to make platforms into operations, and, simple stuff like that. So if you're sticking around, let's go over some simple stuff for platforming. First off, never save the, what are they called, the SQF files and reload them in, because just based on how underwater stuff works and stuff over water, the items like to separate. So, you know, you'll get a separation of some platforms kind of moving apart. I'm making hand gestures. You can't see them. You know, things will kind of move around and it'll look all wonky when you load it back in, and you know, it can really break the realism of the game. Also, you'll have, you know, some structures kind of slightly tilted around or heightened, and you know, you'll have to make a bunch of small edits, which over the ocean is an absolute pain in the ass because sometimes the pieces will go to the ocean floor, and that really sucks. Another thing that you might encounter is if you bring something over, but then use something like the map to move it in, it'll spawn on the ocean floor, and when you rise it, the structure will be calibrated to the ocean floor, and it'll again look very, very wonky and crappy, and you know, it doesn't really look good at all, and there's no way to fix that. So, you know, if you're using Ares to do this, or, you know, like a few people have already told me you should use Editor, which I kind of hate, but, you know, I was able to still make this in Ares. But, just a few different things. For making platforms in general, always start with the freaking base. That's your number one thing. Don't move things over because, again, they can get wonky if you have too many things moved over at once. Like this platform, for example, honestly, it's two platforms kind of put together. You know, there's a little bit of a merge problem, but it's one of those things where you have to get it right on the first try, because if you start trying to edit it, it'll start getting wonky. You might go into the ocean floor. Got to be very careful. And then, you know, you got to make sure that your ways to get onto the platform are solid and doable. So, let me show you an example here.
Awaiting orders.
Just gonna put them on. Utilities. All of these ladders are at the same level, so, you know, testing one of them, we'll test them all. It'll jump in. Now he's got to swim up. Now you just go up, click, climb up, and then get on, take cover, and engage any hostile forces. Now, again, those side platforms are going to be very useful for providing overwatch so you don't get spawn camped, as well as, you know, these sugarcane bundles are going to make some excellent cover. And, you know, if you need to bail, you know, just run into the water and then swim around. Very good stuff right there to use. But anyway, yes, you got to make sure you have a method to get onto the platform, because if these ladders are too high up from this area, if it's just this bottom part is barely touching the water, you're not going to be able to get on. And if it's too far under the water, then you're going to have to at least instruct your players that they're going to have to swim to that area to, you know, then utilize the ladder. So, think that's it. Oh, one more thing. Never do patrols with your offshore platforms. Everything's going to have to be placed in static. And, you know, I kind of regret having to do that because, you know, more units placed individually is going to cause a little bit of lag. But let me quickly set up and show you guys what I mean. You know, simple patrol path easily goes in the 50 meters. Everything's fine, but just let me move this a bit. They basically phase through everything, and it's really kind of annoying because in this patrol path they will go through this, and they will go through, you know, this structure, which, you know, sometimes they do with the vanilla Altus and Tanoa structures, but when you're in a very heavy-duty CQB area, like if I've got a few players coming in right here, and then, you know, that patrol path is going through this, and they just, you know, go through the frickin' shipping crates, mow somebody down, and then keep walking, that's not going to be enjoyable for the player. Watch, he's about to do it. Just, boom. I don't know what he's doing, how he's doing it, what voodoo magic the AI has, but, you know, this that just kills immersion. So everything's going to be placed static wise, and also for the explosive charges, I'm going to be, controlling units and doing it that way. And then also, look at this. Some units, they don't move with the freaking patrol. And it just gets to be a bit of a pain. So I'm not going to do any, like, roaming AI unless, like, I'm going to path them out specifically in, like, a square format and try to minimize them, like, phasing through stuff, because no one wants to play with that. So anyway, offshore, there you go. If you have any questions on offshore platforms, please leave a comment in the video, and I will quickly get back to you. But this is going to be very exciting to run tomorrow, and I hope you all see that video as well. See, now they're frickin' moving. Anyway, have a good one, guys.